Hey everybody. So back before the season started, I did a video about 5 players that could have breakout seasons this year in the NHL. And looking back on that video, most of them did not. Kirby Dach was obviously severely hampered by missing a large majority of the season because of injury. The other guys really haven't, but one guy that I talked about in that video absolutely has had a breakout season this year and has really exploded onto the scene as one of the better, more underrated young players in the NHL, and that is Martin Necas of the Carolina Hurricanes. Necas is having a phenomenal season this year on one of the best teams in the league, and at just 22 years old is looking like a budding star. Now, before we begin, I just ask you please subscribe and hit that thumbs up if you haven't. It helps the channel an absolute ton and is greatly appreciated. But let's take a look here at Martin Necas' 2021 season. So far this year, he's played 50 games. He has 13 goals, 27 assists for 40 points, a plus 26 rating, 11 power play points, and 3 game-winning goals. He's had a phenomenal season this year. He's also killing penalties. He has 3 shorthanded points. And his all-around game is getting just better and better and better as the season goes along. And again, he's just 22. He's a budding star in this league. He is just establishing himself. Last season, he had a very solid rookie year. And it looked like he was going to be ready to take that next step this season, which is why I included him in that video about players that could have breakout seasons. He last season played 64 games. He had 36 points. He had 16 goals, which is the only thing he doesn't have more of this year yet. I mean, there's still time, obviously. But, you know, he had a really solid rookie year last year. But this year, I think, was the year for him to really take that next step. And he's done that. He set career highs in assists, points, plus minus, power play points, tied his career high with game-winning goals, same as last year with 3. Again, he could still add to that. And he's done all this in 14 less games. He played 64 last year. He's only played 50 so far this year. He's done all of this in 14 less games. He's really broken out into a player that looks like he is going to be a really good one for a long time and very consistently good one for the Carolina Hurricanes. He's gotten in very, very good defensively as well, where last year he was a -6. Obviously, you know, as of his first full season in the NHL, there were some turnovers there. He wasn't really killing penalties like he was this year. This year, he's plus 26, which is one of the best plus minuses in the league. He's killing penalties. He's got shorthanded points. His defensive game has taken the next step. His offensive game has taken the next step to where he's not quite a point-per-game player yet, but I think he's headed there. And I think that as he gets older, he's going to be a point-per-game player. He's got a career high in assists already. He's got a career high in points already. And Martin Necas is a guy that all fans should know about. And again, because he plays in Carolina, doesn't really get the national spotlight, isn't really talked about a whole lot as far as the media goes. If Martin Necas was on the Toronto Maple Leafs, this guy would be a household name already. People would be talking about Necas like he's the second coming. And because he's on Carolina, he doesn't get that same attention. But he is an incredibly, incredibly solid player that is only getting better. And again, is still just 22 years old. Still has such a ways to go as far as development and growing his game and reaching his prime. I mean, he's still years away from the prime of his career. Who knows what does he become an 80-point guy? Does he become a 90? Does he hit 100 points at some point in his career? I don't know if he'll ever be a 100-point player in a season, but I definitely think he'll have seasons where he's over a point per game, and his point totals are in the 80s for sure. Without a doubt, he is headed in that direction, and he also plays on a really good team with good players around him and a team that is still young and set up for long-term success as well. So that really bodes well for Necas too. But this is a guy that I was looking at the start of the season as having a lot of potential and could really break out this year. I really liked what I saw from him last season, and I thought he was ready to take the next step. He absolutely has taken the next step. He's played great this season. He's playing higher in the lineup. He's playing more minutes. He's playing more important minutes. He's getting a lot of power play time. He's getting shorthanded time. He's playing in all situations. He's one of the more underrated young forwards in the NHL. And I really, really like Martin Necas' game. I think he brings a lot to the table. I think he fits in with Carolina very, very well. And this is a guy to watch going forward, because I think over the next 2 to 3 years, he is really going to take his career up a step each and every year. And I think he's going to turn himself into a point-per-game player in the league. And I just really, really like what I've seen from him. I think he's a phenomenal young player. I can't wait to see where his career goes. And he has been really, really fun to watch this year. So when I did that video earlier in the year, I may not have gotten a lot of them right, but Martin Necas is definitely a guy having a breakout season this year. And I can't wait to see what he does in the playoffs. And I just think he's going to keep getting better, keep developing, and grow into a star player for the Carolina Hurricanes. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon merchandise store, donation link, and channel memberships are in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.